సౌండ్ వినత్తలేదా?
Yeah, good evening, everyone. So myself, I am Vijay. I hold 15 plus years of experience, which includes 7 plus years of experience in Python environment. So my experience includes design, development, and implementation of Python and Django-based applications. So well versed in implementing different Python libraries, right? Like NumPy, CP, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, URLlib, right? Experience in implementing large-scale business critical systems using object-oriented design and programming, and developing variety of web application using MVT architecture, right? Using server-side applications. So I'm going to cover the following things right before I start. So before I start, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear or not, right?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Okay, fine. So I'm going to cover the following topics. Why Python? Means already we have got many programming languages, right? Why again Python required? Who can learn Python, right? Who can learn Python? Means what are the prerequisites for learning Python, and how Python was built, okay? How Python was derived, what features it has taken, right? Python real-time applications, what kind of applications we can develop today by using Python, okay? So what kind of applications we can develop today by using Python, right? Okay, Python usage, Python features, Python comparison with other programming languages. So you can just check Python code as compared with any other language code, lengthwise, coding wise, complexity wise. You can check how simple this Python statement looks as compared with other programming. Reasons why Python is suddenly super popular, right? Python is not a kind of technology which is very recently introduced. It was introduced almost like 30 years back, right? So why all of a sudden Python has got a great boom, right? And what are the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular? Python scope and job market. What is the scope of Python in the now present and in the coming years, and job market of Python, right? Okay. So once again, can anyone please confirm whether my voice is clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes, sir.
So, okay. So why Python? Why Python, right? So I can define Python in 5 lines. It's a general purpose programming. Multi-programming features are included, right? High level language, interpreted language, user friendly programming language, right? User friendly, general purpose, general purpose. Let us come one by one in brief. I'm saying Python as a general purpose programming language. So, general purpose programming language means any kind of application can be, means it is not purpose based languages. It is not a purpose based language, right? So we have got some languages which are used for a specific purpose, not for all the purpose, right? Some languages used for mathematical applications, some are used for scientific applications, like we have got Fortran, Pascal, and some are used for business application like COBOL, right? So, but a language which is suitable for developing any kind of application, such a language we call it as general purpose programming language. Python is such a kind of programming where any kind of application can be developed by using Python, like web applications, automation applications, animation applications, GUI applications, embedded applications, networking applications, desktop applications, gaming applications, right? So wide varieties of applications can be developed using Python. That's why we call it as a general purpose programming. Okay, not like purpose based, not for a specific purpose. It is not confined to a particular environment, right? But talk about, even if you take programming language like Java is very less used for automation, right? Means in if I talk like in data science, in IoT, or in writing scripts, automation script in AWS DevOps, right? Java is never preferred in writing automation script in AWS DevOps, or if you talk like in IoT, robotics, or in data science implementation, Java is not preferred. Okay, fine. Multi-programming features, right? Multi-programming Python. Okay, before I go with this multi-programming, right, I can give a labor example, right? If you want to launch a new product in the market, right? If you want to launch a new product in the market, okay, think that you want to launch a new mobile phone into the market, right? To attract the customers, for attracting the customers, what features you want to see within that mobile, right? The features what we see in different other mobiles, if you are embedding within a single piece, it's going to attract the customers, right? In the same way, Python is such a kind of programming language where we can see the features of different other programming languages within it. So I'll come back what all the features Python is taking later, but multi-programming features you are going to see in Python, right? Multi-programming features we are going to see in Python. Okay. Because of that multi-features, multi-programming features, we call Python as a hybrid language. Call Python as a hybrid language. Okay. High level. Python is a high level language. High level languages. There are two types of languages I can say, right? Just observe this. Mainly there are two types of languages. First, low level language and high level language. High level languages. Low level languages, example like assembly level, right? Assembly level language or machine level language, right? So these are not understandable. These languages are not understandable. They are not portable. And mainly they cannot run on all the hardware or all the operating systems, right? Hardware dependent. What is this? Hardware. Okay, okay. Not understandable. They are not portable. They are hardware dependent, right? High level languages. High level languages like Python comes as a high level, right? Yes. So Python is easily understandable. The statements of Python looks like normal English statements. They are not as complex as other programming. It looks very simple, right? Python, right? So it's easily understandable. They are portable. Understandable, portable, and system independent, right? System independent. So it can say like system independent. They can run on all the hardware and all the operating systems. They can run on all the hardware and all the operating systems, right? Yes. So Python is a high level language. So Python is a general purpose programming. Any kind of application can be developed, and multi programming features or hybrid features we see. High level language. Okay. And Interpretation language, interpreted language. Python is a interpretation language, line by line execution you are going to see. For example, we have got compilation languages and interpretation languages. Compilation and interpretation. You can see like compilation languages. For example, 10 lines of code I got. Compilation compiles the entire code at once and display the number of errors, right? Okay. Interpretation, line by line execution. Line by line execution, you are going to see, right? Second line, if you got error, it won't execute the remaining lines. Abnormal termination, we say, right? Okay. Python is an interpretation language which makes debugging easy. It's a cross-platform language which can run on any platform like Windows, Linux, Mac OS, right? Even in Linux, right? We talk about Linux, if you are using Python in Linux environment, right? So whatever Linux flavor you are using, like Red Hat Linux or CentOS or Ubuntu, right? Python comes as an inbuilt, no need of any separate installation within this Linux environment. So it comes as an inbuilt. We can directly work with Python, right? Without any installation within the Linux, right? User-friendly programming or programmer-friendly programming language, which looks like a simple, see this, simple, which provides simple syntaxes, which looks like normal English statements. Observe, Python is a user-friendly programming. The syntaxes of Python looks very simple and easy to understand. They look like normal English statements. Okay. Fine. Who can learn Python, right? Before I go with how Python was built in real-time applications, who can learn Python means there is no prerequisite for learning Python. It doesn't mean that you need to have the knowledge like C or Java. So Python syntaxes are little different as compared with other programming. So we are going to discuss each and every syntax from the scratch ground level to the advanced level. So it doesn't mean that you need to have some programming language as a prerequisites. No. So how Python was built and how Python was derived, right? By taking the features from different programming, right? So observe here. Python taken features from. Python was built or taken features from, right? Python has the following features. It has got the following programming, functional programming, right? It has got the features of functional programming, right? Functional programming example like C language, right? It has got the features of functional programming. It has got the features of object-oriented programming, right? Object-oriented programming. Example like C++. Has got the and Java also, right? C++ and Java. Okay. And scripting language, it has taken the features from the scripting languages. Scripting languages like example Linux shell script. And modular programming like modular 3. Functional programming, object-oriented, scripting, and modular programming like modular 3, right? So it has taken because of this multi-features, right? We call Python as a hybrid language. Because of this multi-feature support, we call Python as a hybrid language, right? Okay. So if we take the example of Java, right? It's Java programmers or developers are strictly restricted to use only object-oriented programming features. Without object-oriented programming, there is no Java application or a program, right? But Python with object oriented, without object oriented, with functional programming, with scripting or with modular programming, many different kinds of applications we can develop using Python, right? Fine. So there is no like we can go with any of these features, even like we can write many scripts using using scripting features, right? And modular programming, because of this modular programming only Python has got a great boom today, because of this modules concept. Python providing thousands of modules, right? Nearly like 89,300 inbuilt modules Python providing for various domains. Whatever domain you are from, Python providing a module. For example, talking much on this module set because of these modules. So if you're from data science background, for example, Python providing separate modules for this data science environment, right? Separate modules. So we have got modules like NumPy, Pandas, PyTables, Matplotlib, okay, CP, Scikit-learn, okay. We have got separate models for data science environment. And for if you're from big data environment, right? Python providing separate models for big data environment also, right? Fine. And if you're from networking background, so separate models Python providing for networking environment. Separately, not only model, a separate framework itself is provided for networking side. Tested Python, right? And for testing test cases, separate models we are providing for Python, right? Okay. Okay. GUI animations. We got models like PyQt, we got models like tkinter, and for performing like operating systems for OS kinds of activities. The name of the model itself is OS only, right? Performing OS related activities. Okay. And for any type like for different databases, for databases like Oracle, right? For database like Oracle. Okay. For Oracle database, Python can easily connect with Oracle. Separate models Python is providing, right? Python. So Python, if Python wants to connect with Oracle database, cx underscore Oracle, a model we have got, right? Using which we can easily connect with that Oracle database and perform that operations. Not only for this, for every database, Python providing a module. For MySQL, right? Providing model like PyMySQL, MySQL.connector, right? And for SQL server, right? Okay. Separate model like PyODBC. And if you want to work with files like Excel files, just separate model like Excel RD, Excel SX writer, we can easily create Excel workbook, Excel files, and we can insert data into particular Excel sheet. So for any types of files, Excel files, CSV files, comma separate values file, and XML files, JSON files, JavaScript object notation, right? Yes. For each and every file format. And if you're from mathematical background, math, we have got a model called math model for mathematical kinds of operations. And if you're from statistics, right, stat models are available, right? And for generating different types of graphs, whatever graph, right? Normal graph, bar graph, histogram, scatter plot, stack plot, pie graph, any kind of graph we can generate by using Python. So it's very simple generating graphs using Python, using the inbuilt modules, right? Okay, so in this way, just I have taken some examples, right? In this way, thousands of models Python is providing not only for computer applications, for electronics like MATLAB, or for civil like CAD cam, right? For example, like 3D CAD, computer designing, right? So Python is preferred. Okay, now for what kind of applications? Python real-time applications. Let me brief you one by one where exactly this Python is used. Where exactly this Python is used, right? What kind of applications are getting developed by today by using Python? Python mostly used for developing what kind of applications? Right? Python mostly used in creation of web applications. It's mostly used for creation of web applications using frameworks, Python frameworks like Django, Flask frameworks. Varieties of web applications are developed using Python. You may ask previously from last 20-25 years, Java, .NET, PHP, these technologies are used for generating web applications. But now Python also used with very less coding, with many built-in functionalities and modules. Okay. Secondly, like automation applications, right? Using technologies like data science. Automation applications using technologies like data science. Using technologies like IoT, right? Using technology like DevOps, AWS or DevOps, right? Okay. So many automation applications can be created using these technologies like data science, IoT, right? For data science, the prerequisite, Python is the prerequisite, right? Okay. So if I talk about this IoT, right, where exactly this Python is used within this environments? Okay. Where exactly this Python can be used within this environments, right? Yes. Okay, so here model Python has got a great boom because of this modules concept, right? So this modules 89,000 in 89,300 inbuilt modules Python providing for various domains. Module consists of inbuilt functions. For example, if you want to work with mathematical operations, math module is there. So no need to perform all those, just for example, square root function is available. So not only square root, many other mathematical functionalities directly you can apply under this data, right? Same way for different environments, these modules are provided.
Sir, please spoke in Telugu.
You got any general query or related to this topic?
Sir,
So for your general queries, right, I'll be giving time at the end of this demo, right? So once we start with that query session, so our demo will be disturbed. So if you have got any general queries,
sir,
right? Yes. So for the general queries, I'm giving separate time for the end of the session, right? So I'll be demonstrating how this training goes and what are the course contents, the other things, and your queries. Okay. Separate. If you, as part of this, you can go with your query. If you have got any query as part of this topic I'm discussing now, right? I was just going to say, right, where exactly Python is used within this data science, IoT, and DevOps, right? If I talk about IoT, data science, IoT, so if you talk about this artificial intelligence, right? So lot of automations. Tomorrow you are going to see a lot of automations, right? Many applications are developed using this, right? For example, IoT. Today, if you see internet, IoT, Internet of Things, right? So everything through online, right? Online internet and everything through online, like online banking, online shopping, online exams, like online education, right? Online e-learning, online business, e-commerce, online communication, like the social, like audio and video chattings, right? Online gaming, online healthcare, right? So everything through online, right? So we can see like you should have seen like smartphones and smart TVs, right? You are going to see like smart homes and smart cities, right, in the coming days using this IoT. I can say it's a IoT, it's a physical network or device embedded with electronics, software and sensors and network connectivity for collecting data, exchanging data, and controlling the things from the place where you are, right? So totally for this IoT maximum, the coding we are going to write within this Python, right? For, so the total like coding goes within this Python. And if I talk about the data science, right? The talk of the tone of the industry, right? Data science, AI, ML, DL, right? So like everything deals with the data. Okay, data has got experience, data has got future reference. Using data science, you are going to perform data analysis, predictions, classifications, clustering, recommendations. It's a blend of technique. The main technique what we see in this data science, nothing but ML, machine learning, right? ML, machine learning. Okay, within this machine learning environment, right? So we have got many techniques. You are going to train an application, right? You are going to train an application providing some patterns. Based on the patterns provided, so just you are going to provide, so this is your application, you are going to provide some data patterns based on which you are going to making that application to predict in the automated fashion. So you will be training the application by providing patterns. So the person who trains the application by providing the data patterns, we same as a data scientist. So for training this application, we have got many ML techniques, right? Machine learning techniques like regression techniques, classification techniques, clustering techniques, recommendation techniques, pattern matching techniques, right? For all these techniques to implement, you require a language, right? For to code it or to implement, you require a language. So Python is the mostly chosen language to implement all these techniques, right? So where it has given many modules like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, URL. Yes, we have got many modules Python providing for this machine learning and data science environment, right? Okay. Okay. Fine. Just I was saying like where Python is used within this data science in this IoT. So even in the DevOps side, right? DevOps and AWS, where we are going to write many automation scripts, right? Okay, if I say like that, not only here, it has Python serves as a remedy to the problems of IT industry. So if you see in DevOps environment, right, the goal is to reduce the time taken in the DevOps lifecycle in improving its efficiency. Okay, so if you see the stages, right, requirement gathering, the system design or system implementation, system testing, system deployment and maintenance, right? So in each of the stages, right, improving the efficiency, and Python is one of the best scripting languages with vast varieties of inbuilt libraries, which allows to write many scripts for the improved development lifecycle, right, within this DevOps environment, right? Okay. Apart from this, I was just talking about this automation applications. Apart from this, we have got many other applications, right, where Python is mostly used or preferred. Today, if you see like a big data, in big data environment also, Python is mostly preferred. Just I take a minute. Where exactly within this big data Python can be used, preferred, right? Okay. So the big data name itself saying like huge volumes of data, right? Huge volumes of data. So like not only like KBs of data. So if you see that data storage units, KBs of data, MBs of data, GB, terabytes, petabytes, exabytes, zettabytes, etabytes, so terabytes, so on, right? So if we say from TB onwards, we say it as big data, huge data. If you see like the TBs, you should have seen like KBs, MBs, or GBs, or even TBs of data, right? But do you think like petabytes or exabytes of data is it getting generated in the current real world? If so, examples of petabytes of data generation. 1 petabyte equal to 1024 TBs. 1024 TBs equal to 1 petabyte. Yes, most of the applications are generating data in petabytes. Take the example of Facebook, right? Millions and trillions of users for Facebook. Each and every post need to be stored, right? What is the data? What is the data generated by Facebook in a minute? Talk not only like Facebook, right? If you talk, I was talking that many applications generating data in petabytes. If I take 1 minute transaction itself, right, huge data is getting generated. Example like if we take like Facebook, or if you take the example of Twitter, which keeps on generating tweets, right? Okay, and if you see like Google today, everyone using Google for querying, right? And everyone creating your own videos and uploading in the YouTube, right? For YouTube videos upload, or if you take like email messages, millions and trillions of users using email, Gmail messages, huge data getting generated, right? Or if you talk about bank transactions, or if you talk about telecom transactions, or if you talk about e-commerce sites like Amazon, Flipkart, right? Everywhere we see huge data, right? So for that, we have got some big data technologies, right? Like big data, Hadoop and Spark for storing huge data and processing that huge data in quick time, right? Like for batch processing, we say. So especially like Spark, very high speed processing, in-memory computation, we say. So these are implemented using languages like Scala, Python. I'm saying about the implementation language like Scala and Python. So Python is mostly chosen today in implementation of Spark. Say like PySpark. Say like PySpark, right? Spark with Python implementation. So not only in big data environment, let me brief you. I'll just list out the various other applications where Python is preferred, right? Okay, one second. Scientific applications or numerical analysis. Okay, we have got models like NumPy model, and for GUI, graphical user interface or animation applications, right? Python is preferred. Or if you take like game development, gaming or game development, right? Especially for game development today, Python is mostly preferred for single user, multi-user online games. Especially for game development, a framework called Pygame. Python has provided a framework called Pygame. It's a framework developed given by Python, especially for gaming applications, right? And even for scheduling task, right? We have got Airflow for it, and testing or test cases. For testing and test cases, Python is preferred. And not only like okay, for business applications, right? Python is preferred. Business applications. For scientific, for GUI, for gaming, for scheduling, test cases, for business applications. Okay. Python. Okay, and even for see by business applications, if I say Python is one of the greatest choice to develop e-commerce systems, right? So just if I can say like a three-tier high-level general purpose application, okay, like Triton, we have got Triton, right? Example. So and not only for this, like even in software development, we use Python, right? Software development. Even software developers use Python as a support language. Like if you see like Buildbot, Apache Gump for automated compilation and testing, Roundup, Track for project management and backtracking. So within the software development, Python is used as a support language, right? Okay. And one of the hottest applications of Python, like the database applications. So without database, there is no web application, right? So Python can connect with any database like MySQL, Oracle, PostgreSQL, SQL Server, all this, right? Yes. And for network programming, right? Okay. So I was just saying that for network programming or network applications, right? A separate framework Python is providing, right? Twisted Python, the name of the framework, like twisted Python, right, for networking applications or network program. Okay. So for business software development, database applications, for network programming, right? Apart from this, Python has got many other use cases, right? For web scraping, right? For scraping data from different websites. If data available in databases, you query it. Otherwise, you'll scrap it from the websites, right? Harvesting data from websites, extracting data from website, right? Web scraping is it, right? Okay. You have got models like URL lib model for it, right? And for CAD applications, not only for computer applications like civil or like CAD applications, computer aided applications and 3D CAD applications, and also not for embedded applications. Embedded applications, Python is preferred, right? The most well-known embedded application like Raspberry Pi, right? Raspberry Pi, which uses Python for its computing, and for not only for this, we have got for audio and video applications, right? For audio and video applications, Python is preferred. Like we have got some applications like Team Player is one, C Play, some applications which got developed using audio and video, right? For computer vision, right? For computer vision, for face detection, object detection, and color detection, we go for Python. And for robotics, we are writing many Python scripts. Within the robotics, Python is preferred, right? And apart from this, in for data analysis, Python is mostly used or chosen, right? Yes, these are some of the applications mostly used, right, where Python is preferred in data science, in big data, in databases, for each and every database to connect, right? Python is preferred. Business applications, for software, for networking, scrapping, CAD, embedded, right? So wait, okay. Who are using Python today? Who are using Python? Who are using Python today? And for example, topmost applications built by using Python. Topmost applications built using Python, right? Okay, fine. So here, like today, Python is mostly used or preferred. Okay, I was saying like today, not only like web applications, today like very high-end technologies using Python as the implementation language, right? Data science with Python, big data with Python, like robotics, DevOps or AWS with Python, web applications creations with Python, right? So some of the applications which built by using Python, right? For example, who are using Python today, like Google using Python, right, for its web search system. Yahoo using Python, right? YouTube using Python for its video sharing service. Instagram built by using Python. The prime reason for Instagram for choosing Python, right? Its efficiency and its practicality, right? NASA is using Python because of its hybrid features. We can use Python accordingly, right? We can experiment it accordingly. NASA using Python. Uber using Python. Uber using Python, right? Uber pricing algorithm, right? Implemented using Python. And we have got many other applications built by using Python like Dropbox, Quora. Some applications built using Python, like Pinterest using Python. BitTorrent using Python for its file sharing service, BitTorrent. Maya, a powerful 3D animation, uses Python scripting, right? MMOG, right? Massively multiplayer online games. Multiplayer online games, right? Okay. Reddit. Ironport email server, right? Ironport email server product uses more than 1 million lines of Python code for doing its job. iRobot for military and commercial applications, right? Python is preferred. Hardware testing. Companies like IBM, Seagate, Qualcomm, all this they use Python for hardware testing, right? Okay, fine. So some of this, so I was saying like Google is one of the best example, right, of Python web application. The first Google web crawling was written in Java, right? Later it was so difficult, it was rewritten in Python, right? So even I was talking like even not only this, even Netflix, right? You can make Netflix also using Python for its security automation. And for example, Dropbox using Python for all its for all your documents, files, photos, and right. Reddit, so like Instagram using Python, right? These are some of those applications, right? And apart from other programming language, like in Python, we have got interactive mode, right? Interactive mode using which can easily interact with Python statement by statement interaction. In C, it is not possible. In Java also, it's not possible. Okay, if I can select, if I go to this command prompt, CMD, just type Python here, you'll get Python 3.10 version. Python interpreter got open. Any valid Python statements you can type and check, right? 3 plus 4, 4 into 6, x is 10, y is 5. What is the x value? It gives the response. What is y? What is x plus y? X minus y, right? Okay. X equal to HELLO, right? A string x into 3 prints hello for 3 times. X into 5 prints hello for 5 times, right? So interactive mode, which you cannot see in other programming like C or Java. Here we can interact with Python statement by statement. Okay. Now for if you want to show you like okay, what reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, try to say me the reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular from the discussion what we had from the last 40 some time, right? Reasons which makes Python suddenly super popular, right? Suddenly super popular. Try to say me the reasons, right? One by one reasons. Very less coding. Okay, first thing is it is attracting that the programmers and developers, they are migrating towards Python because of very less code, simple and easy syntaxes, simple syntaxes given by Python, right? Very less. Okay, apart from this,
So
multi
built-in modules.
yes, built-in models, multi-programming features, hybrid features, I said that. What all the features you see in different programming? Yes. What was the yes built-in modules, right? Many built-in modules or libraries, right? Now next, interactive mode. You can interact with Python statement by statement. Apart from this, wide varieties of applications. Just now I said that wide varieties of application. Just now I was discussing that in automation, in animation, in big data. The scope and job market of Python. Scope and job market, right? Let me just open and show you, right? In the Google. I'm opening Google, right? Yes. So popular coding language, you can see. Okay. Popular coding language, right? Okay, if you see from last 1-2 years, right? Popular coding language. Python continues to be one of the best programming language every developer should learn, right? So if you see that top 10 programmings, Python stands first. Next comes JavaScript, Java, and the other, right? The most popular programming languages, Python, Java, and other things, right? Yes. See, Python, most popular programming language, if you see, Python stands first. Next, JavaScript, Java, the other things, right? Okay. Python remains the most popular programming language. Most loved, read and wanted languages, Python, right? Next comes JavaScript. If you see the usage of Python in the industry currently, right? 31% of Python is used, Java 19%. If you go back like 10 years or 12 years, the usage of please be in mute. Okay. So if you go 10 years or 12 years back, the usage of Python was very less, not even 4% or 5%. Now it is 31%. Okay. So year by year, it is increasing a lot, right? Even if you see that salaries at the ranking, right? Ranking based on this. Python stands number 1 ranked. Next comes JavaScript, right? And if you see these job openings, that average salary for Python as compared with other, right? Ranking by average salary, Python standing, and ranking by volume of job openings, right? Okay. So, okay, that's fine. What I'm going to cover as part of this course, right? So from starting from the scratch ground level to the advanced application, right? So starting from the basics, Python basics, what is Python, why Python, history, applications, features, advantages, flavors, Python operations, data types, constants, variables, okay. Operators, IDs in Python. In real time, we use IDs, right? Like Anaconda distribution, the spider ID, these things, right? Okay. I'll be going to show. Okay. So we are going to use these IDs in the, okay. And apart from this, like flow control statements. So I'm going to show you one by one many IDs, like how to download step by step, how to install, and how to work on these IDs, right? Flow control statements, loopings, strings, string handling, string indexing, string slicing, string functions, methods, special characters, collections in Python, right? Lists, list operations, list indexing, slicing, list functions, list methods, nested list, working with list addresses, modifying list, right? Similarly, on tuples, sets, dictionaries in brief. Okay, functions in Python, different categories, different types, arguments, default, non-default, keyword, non-keyword, arbitrary, types of functions like lambda function, map function, filter. Okay. Models in Python, what is a model? Different types of models, different ways of importing, renaming model, reloading model, right? From import, normal import, and working with packages in Python, errors and exceptions in Python, right? File handling in Python, how to read data, how to write data, right? To files, right? And file handling. regular expressions, right? Extracting required data from the given data, and for data validations, the other things we use, right? Operating object-oriented programming concepts in brief, right? Like class, object, inheritance, polymorphism, constructors, destructors, garbage collector, right? Okay. Okay. And database, how Python going to connect with database? I'm going to show you the installation of one database and how to connect with it and how to perform these operations, right? Parallel you can do. Python, some models related to different environments. I'm going to show you some models like from data science, some big data model, data and time related, from graphic model, some operating system model, right? So models related to different environments, GUI, operating systems, Python date time, right? Excel workbook. Okay. Working with Excel workbook, how to create Excel workbook, how to insert data, how to read data from it, and how to write data to a particular Excel sheet. Operating system model, advanced concepts like iterator, generator, closer, decorators, right? Web scraping, working with different types of files, CSV, XML, JSON, right? Data analytics, right? I'm going to discuss about some data science introduction and models used for data science, right? So like three to four models I'm going to discuss in brief, right? Like Pandas model, which is very important. Pandas series data frames from list from CSV JSON, right? Uh, Pandas model in brief. NumPy model in brief, NumPy indexing, NumPy arrays, and matplotlib model, right? So totally 30 topics in brief it is going to be discussed, like nearly like 2.5 months course duration, right? And every session is a video recorded. Even you will be getting the recorded video every day you will be getting the video of it. And notes, clear notes will be provided, and some assignments will be provided on a completion of the topics. So every Friday I'll be giving some kind of assignments you can work with, and mostly asked questions, interview questions will be discussed as part of the topic itself. Nearly 300 plus code examples are going to be discussed as part of this, and nearly, okay, fine. So that is what the course content, right? So if you've got any queries, right, related to this Python course or Python subject, and one more before I start with your queries, right? Yes. Tomorrow also, if people tomorrow and okay, if people can attend the session to see more on this Python. Same time, same link you can use for logging in just to see more on this Python, right? So you can just go with your queries through ICE or through. So mock test it's like I'm going to keep like 3 to 4 assessment tests. Okay, each test will be of 50 questions, right? Okay, 50, 50, 50, like 4 assessment, right? Totally 200 means mostly asked questions. Okay. Now go with your queries if you have got any queries related to this Python course and subject, right? So everything it is going to be discussed in brief, in depth with multiple examples. Nothing like keeping some kind of slides or PPTs or no, it won't happen. Everything I'm going to type and show you step by step the installation process, working process, right? Fine. Yes, you are going to get all the session recorded videos, right? Not a particular session, right? And will there be any discussion on yes, machine learning? Like I was discussing here, can you observe here the last page totally like discussion on this data science, introduction to data science, machine learning, supervised statistical analysis, data analysis, correlation analysis, Python, Pandas module, NumPy model, Matplotlib model, working with different types of plottings, normal graphs, bar graphs, histogram, scatter plots, stack plots, pie plots, right? Working examples, Pandas model, NumPy model, data analytics, right? Okay, fine. Some queries were asked, right? So yes, sir. Yes, sir. If you are from a BTech, okay, passed out, right? Companies, okay, everyone. If you have got, I'm saying like at the end of the course, you'll be having great command on this Python, right? You're going to have great command on this Python with multiple examples, assessments, assignments, with multiple working examples, step by step. We'll be learning, right? So if anyone for going for certification program, I will be helping out. What is the course syllabi? How your performance is measured there? Types of queries and questions. Okay, fine. So again, if you got any queries, you can ask me through voice. I just unmuted everyone, right? Fine.
Vijay, like, what is the difference between libraries and modules?
So here in Python, we have got models, right? Lot of models we are going to see. Thousands of models we are going to see. So in Python, we call everything as a model, right? Packages and models. Packages, collection of models, we say it as packages. In Python, everything we say like package and modules. Package consists of models. Models consists of inbuilt functions and variables, right? In Python, everything we see is Python has got a great boom because of these models. Same thing, right? Same thing, libraries. So thousands of models for different domains and environments. We have what Python is providing, which consists of inbuilt functions. So about the fee structure, right? Tomorrow, like in the chart panel, totally they'll be briefing that online team. We have got like DURGASOFT online team. They'll be taking care about that videos, forwarding the other things, right? Okay. So about this, so it's an offer batch. This is an offer batch, right? So fine. Okay, the fees as said it is like 5K. So it's like just 5K for this batch only. Fine. So this is what the course content like in brief, in depth. Some models related to data science, some models related to databases, some models related to big data, some models related to operating systems, some related to different files like Excel files, CSV, JSON, some models like GUI, graphic models, datetime models, right? And how to create our own models, right? We'll be discussing it part of this course, right? Yes. Fine. Okay, tomorrow and the next 1 2 days also you can next 2 days you can attend session, right? Friday and next to see more on this how this Python. Okay, fine.
Hi Vijay,
Yes.
this is Chandu. Would you mind just tell me about the job opportunities for freshers in Python?
So freshers, 1 second. So here if you see, so Python is one of the see directly or indirectly every software employee going to touch Python, right? So if you see in most of the high-end technologies or the technologies implementation going in Python, like I was saying, like in big data, Spark with Python, PySpark, data science, total implementation in Python. In AWS, I was writing scripts. In robotics, writing scripts using Python. In web applications creations, Python is mostly used in gaming applications, wide varieties, right? So even high-end technologies using Python as an implementation language, and even as a fresher, right? So if you see from the last 15 20 years, even if you're from BTech graduate, right, most of them have got idea of what Java, right? But how many of you have got Python, and how many of got command in Python, right? Very less people, right? Very few people. Even this Python was introduced just like 2 3 years ago, right? In the even in the academics of this degree, right? So we see very few people who have got a good command in this Python. So but if you see for like Java, we see everyone have got knowledge on Java. Few people who have got command in Python. So opportunities for Python are more because applications are more mostly used in this. Okay. So you can just Google and check Python jobs. You can see like many jobs for Python. As a fresher also, right? Tomorrow, if you are using, Python, right? If you have asked queries, right? They check your level in Python. If you have got a good level or you have got good command in Python, definitely you can just crack the interviews, right? Yes. So even in the fresher, right, if you're asked to write any task, any language, you can prefer, right? Python, very less coding, not even 1/4 coding you can see. I'll just tomorrow in the tomorrow session, I'll brief you coding wise how this Python code compared with other programming language like Java, C, right? Very less coding you see in Python, just look like normal English statements. So you can even as a fresher, if they ask any task, you can easily write within Python, right? With very less coding, right? You can implement the tasks with many built-in functions available, models available, right? Fine. So they just your checking the level in this Python, you'll be having great command, right? Yes. So learning Python and just getting the output is not the criteria here, right? How to write your own code. Okay, many assignments and tasks will be provided based on which you are going to learn Python, right? Not based on the output. Okay, fine. So here I'm also going to show you this IDs, implementation of Python in different IDs, right? So different environments and Python used for different environments, different IDs are preferred. For data science like Anaconda, like Jupyter Notebook, Spider is preferred. For big data also like Spider is preferred. Anaconda like Jupyter Notebook is preferred. For typical web applications, PyCharm, Atom, VS Code is preferred. All those I'm going to show you step by step how to download and how to install them, right? Fine. Okay.
Hey Vijay,
Yes.
so classes will be which day and what is the duration on each day?
So my classes will be from Monday to Friday, daily from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. So
Okay, 1 hour
so
daily.
from Monday to Friday. Sometimes if I'm going out of days, Saturdays will be taken, right? At the once we go with advanced topics, advanced concepts, we pre-intimated. Okay. So Monday to Friday, daily 1 hour, same 9 o'clock, the same timing. We'll be running with the same timing, right? 9 to 10
Okay,
IST timing, right? Okay.
okay, thanks.
So, okay, if I'm done with the queries, if there are no other queries, right, I'll sign off for today. Meet you tomorrow, same time with the same link, right, to see more on this Python. Thank you all.
Sir,
Thank you for your time.
is there any offline demo, sir?
I'm not taking any online, offline, right? Only like online. Mornings and evenings. Okay. I'm not taking any offline. As of now, I'm taking only online, right?
I saw that tomorrow there is a 5:30 p.m. offline demo.
So it's not me.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Vijay, what about the lab? I mean,
Pardon?
I mean, is there a kind of lab that I mean it's providing? Yeah.
See, one thing, if you've got okay, if you've got system on laptop, it's fine. But Python is a cross-platform. You can run on any platform. Even if you've got a smartphone with you, we can run. You can type and execute the Python code in your smartphone also. I'll show you the process, right? You can run in smartphones. You can execute the code.
Okay.
You can write in interactive mode and batch mode. Both the modes you can run your code within your smartphones also if it doesn't have system or laptop. Or in any of, I'll be showing you how to run the code in Linux, Mac, and Windows, right? And if you want to upgrade, if you got in Linux already, inbuilt Python will be available. How to upgrade Python within that? In the sessions we'll be discussing, right? Yes. Yes, we will be working with Python 3.10.
Okay.
Yes, Satyasri. Can we download Python 3.10? Yes. We'll be working with 3.10 of 3.10 only. The latest version only, right? I'll be showing you the process, right? Step by step, how to download and how to install Python, right? Yes. Okay, thanks. So the only thing is being regular to the
Thank you.
sessions, and only thing, right? Most of you being regular to the sessions, and just completing the practicals that say the day itself. Sessions will be very simple and easy to understand that Python coding. I'll tomorrow in the tomorrow session, just I'll be going with some sample snippets of Python, right? You doesn't have any knowledge on Python, so I can easily you can understand what's happening in each line. So tomorrow I'll just show you some examples, right? Python programming, and just check how it looks, how simple, and how the syntax of Python look, right?
Sir, what all IDs are you going to cover?
So I'm going to show you like PyCharm ID, Spider ID, Jupyter Notebook, Atom, VS Code. Okay. Fine. Anaconda distribution, right? How to work within this Anaconda distributions, right? These are the, but mostly used is PyCharm is the mostly used ID. Mostly we'll be using that. And also how to run within the editors and how to create that also I discussed, right? Fine. Okay. So I'm stopping here. Still, if you have got queries, you can also go in tomorrow's session, right? Okay. Sessions will be interactive sessions, right? Today is the demo. Most of the time I was speaking, but in normal sessions, whatever statement I'm typing, okay, you'll be keep interacting. You'll be just giving that expected output, right? For each and every statement I type, you'll be responding, right? Like interactive sessions. Okay. So meet you tomorrow, same time at 9 o'clock, the same link, right? Okay.
So,
Fine. Okay. Thank you all. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
thank you, sir.